I know.
Welcome back to the Five. So, thanks to a recent FTC ruling, companies can now run social media background checks, meaning a comment on a blog could cost you a job. So, would you pass such scrutiny? Look, I'm old, so I'm safe. The people who should be scared are the kids who grew up cradled in the internet, seeing it as a puffy cloud of ego gratification. Now, we have a generation in which exhibition has replaced inhibition, and salaciousness, not sense, is ingrained and lauded. Yep, no one keeps anything in anymore. No thought is left unexpressed, no feeling held back. We have no more revelations because all has been revealed. And when those 15-year-olds turn 22, they'll own an internet trail longer than Bob Beckel's rap sheet, and that is long. Now, some call for internet amnesty, that once you're 18, your web history is erased. I'm against it only because if you tweeted how short I am, that should stain you forever. And that's the sad truth. The internet is immortal. Nothing on it ever dies. Your errors will haunt you to your death. Wiener's photo, Woo's tiger outfit, and of course, this.
It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
Oh, good.
Yeah. See, that's why I didn't dance.
You know what?
That's why I don't do anything.
You're a party
You didn't dance because
pooper.
you're a wuss. And then you say the
Come on,
five.
Bob, the five.
Bob, aren't you happy that you were a crazy madman before there were picture phones that could document?
I no more could get through this thing. I mean, if they ever opened up my closet, it would sound like the Boston Pops at the 4th of July. But the idea that now, I didn't even know this. I didn't know that my emails could be retrieved and you delete them.
Yes.
I mean, this is unbelievable.
All of everything you've ever sent, Bob, is floating above you somewhere.
Well, if that's the case, man, it's going to come raining down. It's bad stuff. But listen, I'm telling you, the idea, when I read through the research on this, which we do research, and for me, as you know, I have to do a lot of it, but I'm telling you, the idea that they can keep this stuff and the cops can get to it, I mean, it's just outrageous. It's a violation of the First Amendment rights.
Well,
Don't do bad things. I've told you.
Well, no, that's ridiculous.
Well,
what if you want to do bad things?
sometimes you say that.
What if you want to do bad things that are not illegal?
Sometimes I say, have you been very, very bad?
Yes. Do you? Would you? If you owned a company,
Yes.
would you do social background checks if somebody?
I actually would. I mean, I'm a former prosecutor. I love this, okay? I love to get the bad guys, the people who are out there committing crimes, the child pornographers. Get them. I want to get all their stuff. I wrote search warrants. Take all their information, their computer. So
Do
I'm just thinking.
you think you could get through a social? I mean,
Yes,
forget
I
the
can.
crime stuff. You could?
Yes, I can.
Not your personal social life or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean,
She's
hello.
very
I'm very
careful.
good, and there's a
You
picture
have
of
to
me
be
on
in the public
Facebook. It's like
eye.
my Fox, headshot from like 19.
Not everybody, Bob, led your life.
No.
That's
Well,
true.
Kimberly just surprised me with that one a little bit. So.
I just think that this is the government also hiding behind these companies, right? So if you're an internet service provider, you already think about the added cost.
Right.
You have to hold all of this data. Now, if I'm a consumer and I hear that this company is doing these searches and holding my emails, you're not going to get mad at the government.
Sure.
You're going to get mad at the company.
Yeah, you
so I
are.
think that the government's just hiding behind these companies and letting them do their dirty work. And none of these companies want to fight the government because they're scared. What
You're
are they
right.
supposed
It's an
to say?
FTC ruling. This is from
Exactly.
the Federal Trade Commission. So, and basically, these companies can provide reports on an individual's online actions by reviewing up to 7 years. That's the thing, Bob.
What do you think of this idea, Eric, though, of internet amnesty? That you could be a complete idiot for all of your young adult life, and then all of a sudden this giant eraser comes down and just erases it.
Not a bad idea.
What if
I
you're a
also
little
don't like it
older
where
than that?
teachers are friending their like 12-year-olds. That's a horrible idea. I think I agree. I agree with Kimberly. The fewer opportunities for pedophilia, the better.
Yes.
But I do have to point something out. I'm still in the Twitter penalty box right now.
Why now?
I was a very active Facebook and Twitter commenter. There was a few things that
do something
slipped out,
bad?
and I'm still trying to get my
Kimberly
rights
asked
back.
him, did
What?
you do something very bad, Eric?
No, he did.
Well,
He was,
I wanna
he was,
put- you
he was
mentioned
very
this-
bad, but he was okay about it.
You
wanna
mentioned
put
this
you
thing
in
about forbidding. It was Governor Jay Nixon forbidding students, teachers from friending students.
That's just so creepy.
Missouri
Yeah,
governor.
I mean,
yeah.
Way too creepy.
I never had any relationships with my teachers outside of the classroom.
to.
I don't want to have
Yeah,
communication conversation with my teacher. I just want them to give me the big fat A. That's it.
Well,
right on my paper.
Something tells me you never had that problem.
I got to
Kimberly.
tell you something. This for any teacher who would get into a Facebook relationship with any of their students in this day and age are crazy. Now, I had one with my French teacher, which was how I got out of college. But that was a different story. It was back then. It was a different time. Right now,
was he very
You
smart?
were doing more than just tweeting her.
I couldn't speak a word of French, but I still passed.
Oui, Bob.
Shocking.
Well, since we're talking about school, drug testing. They're going to start drug testing voluntarily in middle schools.
Yeah, it's sad. I wish I didn't have to be in favor of this, but I've watched the use of drugs, including, as you all know, I'm a recovering addict.
Really? I haven't heard that.
You haven't heard that. Well, your Twitter people have.
Get a Fox News
I get
alert
it. I get it all the time. But I'll tell you, when it used to be in college and that your older people would be using drugs, it then moved down to the high school level, and now it's moving down to the middle school level, and it's dangerous. And if it means that we're going to be able to do some interdiction of this stuff early, then I think it's not a bad
I have a
thing.
12-year-old in middle school right now. I'm all for this. It's random. As long as I agree to it.
Yeah,
it's
it's voluntary.
That part's voluntary, but it's also a random drug test. I can say, hey, you, third one in line, come on over. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Then
Sign me up.
the parents pay, so you've got parental consent, so that's built in there, of course. And then the parents have to agree to pay for any kind of treatment. But this is legal. 2002, U.S. Supreme Court said that public schools could do this. They're doing it in middle school, and they're doing it in high school, and I'm for it.
And they should. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I agree with this absolutely, but here's my fear: they have a hard enough time teaching students nowadays, right? Now we got to turn schools into healthcare facilities. They're going to have counseling. And what if the family is poor and they can't afford the treatment then?
But let me tell you, Andrea, the one thing about these things, it might scare some kids away from using drugs. It might scare some kids away from using drugs. And believe me when I tell you, every year you can get to them early in their addiction life, the better chance you've got to get them recovered. It's a tough job when you get a lot older. Believe me, I've seen it. Yeah. And the toughest people to get clean and sober are people who are middle-aged. The easiest ones are the younger people.
And the upside is I have stock in Dixie Cup. So I'm the real winner here. Okay.
I'm glad we came full circle on that.
Yes.
Yeah,
all right.
Glad that worked out.
Thank you.
Good talk.
We got to take a break. The four-legged fundraiser that brought in big bucks for cancer. It's a great story you don't want to miss. Next on The Five.
7